A very good morning to all my dear students. Today we are going to start with a new chapter, chapter number 7, Gupta Age and Other Rulers in Social Science. In this chapter, I am going to cover the first part of the chapter, that is only about the Gupta Empire. So today we are going to only discuss about how the Gupta reign came into existence and how they declined, and who were the rulers who took place in Gupta Empire. Fine. So here I am going to give you some notes in this video. I want all of you to jot down those notes in your notebook in good handwriting. Of course, you can use color pens to for each and every point. Fine. And I also want you to stick photographs of pictures of Gupta, Chandragupta 1, Chandragupta 2, Samudragupta, and whatever the arts or administration or buildings that they created. Fine, even if you get pictures for the coins which started during the Gupta era, I want you to stick those pictures in your notebook and label them, because labeling is very important, otherwise you won't be able to understand which picture states what. Fine, so let's start with the chapter. Chapter 7, The Gupta Empire. The golden age of the Guptas. The Gupta period or the Gupta age was considered as the golden age of the Guptas. Let us now understand why Gupta Empire is considered as the golden age of India. It was because the western invaders were defeated. The Shaka and the Han was defeated by the Gupta. Establishment of kingdom from east to west coast of India. There was prosperity and wealth in the society, which was due to the good governance of Gupta kings. The share of Indian trade in the world was more than 20%, and now it is less than 0.1%. There were many contributions, the poets who contributed their work in the country. They were Kalidas, Panini, Bhas, Vamiri, Varamiri were the leaders of the various fields, presented their classic work to the world. And so this was known as, because they ruled so well and everything was so good, the this era of Guptas were considered as golden age in India. Before we start, I am just giving you the glimpse of which ruler ruled till what period. Okay. Now Chandragupta I was known as the first king of Gupta Empire. However, the Gupta dynasty was started by Sri Gupta, who was father of Chandragupta I. And Chandragupta I ruled for 320 to 340 AD. After Chandragupta I, his son Samudragupta took the reign, and he reigned from 340 to 380 AD. He expanded many kingdoms and he defeated the Sheikh rulers. After Samudragupta, Chandragupta II, also known as Vikramaditya, reigned the country, and he ruled from 380 to 450 AD. He made many profitable trades with Mediterranean world. And after that, Huns invade was defeated by Gupta kings. Let us now understand the rise of Guptas. Sri Gupta was the founder of Gupta dynasty in the kingdom of Magad. His son name was Ghatotkacha Gupta. Chandragupta I, who ruled from 320 AD, succeeded Patliputra as the successor of King Ghatotkacha. He married Kumar Devi, who was a Lichavi girl. He extended boundaries of Magad by conquering nearby places like Prayagraj, which is now called as Allahabad, Saket, which is now called as Ayodhya. He assumed glorious title of Maharaja Dhiraj in place of Maharaj. In order to show his power and reputation, he started gold coins. Since the accession of his coronation, he started Gupta Sambat. Vallabhi rulers of Saurashtra also accepted Gupta Sambat. Due to initiation of Gupta Sambat, the arrangement of historical events according to the date line was made possible in the history of India. Let us now understand the map which is given in the video. Can you see the blue part? The blue part shows the empire of Chandragupta I. The brown part of the map shows the added region, the kingdoms which were added by Samudragupta, and the green place, the green parts of the map shows the region which was added by Chandragupta II, also known as Vikramaditya. Here the video is showing about the region where the Gupta Empire located. So all the purple color one are the kingdoms which fall under Gupta Empire. Let us now understand about what Chandragupta I did. The Chandragupta I was the chieftain of who married Kumara Devi, who was a Lichavi girl, and he inherited a small kingdom. Eventually, he expanded to become the king of Magad. His kingdom was limited to that region only. His son's name was Ghatotkach. Ghatotkach was the son of Sri Gupta and not Chandragupta I. He assumed glorious title of Maharaja Dhiraj instead of Maharaja, and he started Gupta Samvat. Now these are some important points that you need to understand. Chandragupta and Kumara Devi are shown in Chandragupta offering a ring or putting sindoor to his queen Kumara Devi in the coin 1. Now the coins which were released during the Gupta Empire are these. Okay, and the second coin that is written in Brahmi script. Okay, and in this coin it is shown that the second coin depicts the goddess Lakshmi. The two coins which have been enlarged to show you the actual picture. The first coin where you can see Chandragupta I and his wife Kumar Devi, whereas the second coin tells us about goddess Lakshmi. After Chandragupta I, Samudragupta, who was the son of Chandragupta I, Samudragupta came into reign in between 335 to 375 CE. Okay, now let us understand more about Samudragupta. Samudragupta, he was son of Chandragupta I. He was crowned to be the king of his abilities even though he was not the eldest. He was very adventurous and led his army across the 4,800 kilometer span of India and conquered kingdoms along the way. Performed Ashwamedh Yagna, that is the sacrifice of horse, and proclaimed himself emperor. He was very talented in musical instrument of veena. He had studied art, literature and science. He built Buddhist monastery in Bodh Gaya. After Samudragupta's son Vikramaditya or Chandragupta II, he came into power and he reigned the throne. Chandragupta II became king in 375 BCE and the Gupta Empire reaches its height. He ruled for 40 years and he strengthened his empire through peaceful means. Dear students, you must have also read the stories of Vikramaditya and Betal. He is the same king for which the stories have been told. He is also known as the king of Ujjain. So please do not get confused with the name Vikramaditya, okay, and Chandragupta too. Vikramaditya extended his rule in every direction but south. He added the title to his name Vikramaditya, that is son of power. Hindus still call Vikram Samvat, that is beginning of the year of his kingdom. All his achievements are inscribed on famous iron pillar in Delhi, which remain clear even today. Established direct trade with Egypt and other western countries. Yagraval, Yagravalka Rishi Kalidas lived during this time. Paintings in Ajanta and Ellora caves are from his era. Fa Hien, the Chinese pilgrim, spent 11 years during his studying Sanskrit and wrote about his prosperity. Here is the hierarchy of the rulers. Chandragupta I was the first ruler. His son Samudragupta came into existence, and then his son Chandragupta II came into existence. After Chandragupta II, his son Kumargupta and Skandagupta also came into reign. And although the two rulers have been not described or talked about in your textbook, just for knowledge, you should know this. The achievements of Gupta era, the Guptas achieved in literature, they contributed in astronomy, they contributed in maths, they contributed in medicines as well. Let us now understand the government during the Gupta rulers. Gupta rulers maintained a strong central government but also gave great power to local leaders. These leaders were elected by the merchants and artisans. In each village, a headman and council made decision for the village. Women had once been allowed to serve on the councils. But under Hindu law, more restrictions were placed on them and they lost that right. How was the Gupta administration? We get information about administration during Gupta age from records, smritis and Purans. According to the governing body was divided into three sections: the central, the provisional and the local. Emperor was at the center of Gupta administration. He adopted titles like Maharajadhiraj, Param Bhagwat. Usually prince was appointed as the head of the province, Kumaratmya, and commissioner played a major role in the province. The province was called Bhukti, whose head was regional. The province was divided into districts. The district was called Vishay. A committee was formed at village level which included elders, village heads, and important adult citizens. The trade during the Gupta era, where they used to import and export the silk, the cotton goods, the spices, gold and ivory, the cotton goods, the horses, the rice and wheat, and many other things of that kind. Okay, so they used to trade in all these um, items from which they used to gain a lot of money. During the era of Guptas, they made a good contribution in the poetry as well. Kalidas was one of the chief and greatest poets in India. His most famous play was Shakuntala, and he was during the reign of Vikramaditya. The Gupta era was greatly influenced by the Southeast Asian art and architecture, and hence we got a lot of art contributions from the Guptas as well. Contributions that made by the Gupta Empire to the country are the in architecture they made many Hindu temples which were filled with the carvings of gods and goddesses. They also made Buddhist shrines known as stupas. They also have contributed in the area of language and literature in Sanskrit and in an ancient Hindu. Sanskrit is known as the ancient Hindu and Indian language. Guptas also made contribution in the area of mathematics where they gave the zero and decimal system to the country. They also introduced Arabic numerals. They also contributed in the field of medicine where they gave the treatment through herbs. Okay, treatment to the illness through herbs. Surgery to set bones and plastic surgery also they introduced. They also made vaccinations for smallpox. Family life during the Gupta era. Let us understand it now. People lived as extended families. Extended families मतलब joint families जहाँ पे दादा परदादा उनकी फैमिली दादा की फैमिली पेरेंट्स की मम्मी पापा वाली फैमिली एंड फिर उनके बच्चे हो गए फिर उनके बच्चे के बच्चे फैमिली एंड hence they used to call it as extended family which included parents, children, grandparents and aunts and uncles. Families were patriarchal. पैट्रियार्कल का मतलब होता है कि फादर के जो फादर हैं फिर फादर के फादर ग्रैंडफादर ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर एंड सो ऑन. सो द फैमिलीज वेयर पैट्रियार्कल meaning the oldest male was the head of the household. Marriages were arranged for children by their parents and they had to marry within their own caste. Now, casteism was had a strong hold even during the era of Guptas. Okay, and only parents were supposed to arrange the marriages for their children, and children cannot even oppose that marriage. They have to marry the person their parents have chose for them. Religious status during the Gupta. Hinduism and Indian culture are seen in full swing during Gupta age. The Gupta emperors gave Vaishnavism the status of a state religion. As a result, Vishnu, his avatars Sri Ram and Sri Krishna were mostly worshipped at this time. Lakshmi became very famous goddess. It was during this time only that Ramayana and Mahabharata as well as the Puranas were recompiled. Srimad Bhagavad Gita became very important text of this time. Like Vaishnavism means people who pray to Lord Vishnu, and Shaivism are people who pray to Lord Shiva. Also developing during Gupta age. In South India, Shaiv saints were called Nainar, while Vaishnav saints were called Alvar. In South India, Mahi Durga, Mahishasur-Mardini, also known as Durga, was also quite popularly worshipped here. The worship of Kartikeya was also practiced during the Gupta age. Okay, so Hinduism was also strongly influenced in the Gupta society. We understand how the Guptas, who were the most powerful king and the kingdom, came into their end. The decline of the Guptas. Invasion of the White Huns in 4C signaled the end of the Gupta golden age, even though at first the Guptas defeated them. पहले गुप्ता ने उनको डिफीट किया लेकिन बाद में वो फिर से इन्वेड हुए और उसकी वजह से क्या हुआ कि उनका decline होना चालू हो गया. After the decline of Gupta Empire, North India broke into number of separate Hindu kingdoms and was not really unified again until the coming of the Muslims in 7 CE. After the death of Chandragupta II, his majestic son Kumar Gupta came into throne and during his time some famous caves of Nalanda and some caves of Ajanta were erected. After Kumar Gupta I, his brave son Skanda Gupta came to power. The weak rulers of post Skanda Gupta time could not withstand the onslaught attacks of the obsessive and powerful Huns, and Gupta Empire disintegrated in 550 AD. This was the end of part 1. With part 2 we will understand about the various other rulers who came into existence after the Guptas. And if you have any doubt related to the part 1 or you did not understood anything, you can surely come to me or write in my comment box. I will try to solve your queries. I hope you all have understood the concept in part 1 of my video, and I want you to write all the main points from the video. You can pause it and you can write in your notebook in good handwriting. Thank you dear students for watching my video. I hope you have understood the concept of Gupta era. I would request all the students to please subscribe my channel so that whatever is upcoming next time I will be posting the second part of this chapter, and so on. I will be coming up with the new videos for you, and I don't want any video you should miss because they are really important. From this we understand a lot many things. Social science is a hub to understand the culture what we had in past and what we will have in future, right? It is all about the society we are in. So I want all of you to subscribe the channel and hit the bell button so whatever videos are upcoming you will get a notification for the same. Thank you once again for watching my video.